Let's talk about an interesting story I heard recently from a young man about a prank that he played on his girlfriend. He says, my partner, 29, cried and told me that I, 27 male, have been, quote, terrorizing her all over some silly prank that I pulled on her. I need to know how we as a couple can move on from this together. I'm in love with a girl, let's call her Angela. Angie and I have known each other since I was an upperclassman in college. We're a somewhat non conventional couple. We both openly love one another in the romantic sense, and she's so cute and sexy. We've committed to each other for life. However, we don't want to marry each other, and we've always preferred to live in separate apartments because we both value our privacy. I and my male friends have a funny habit of sneaking up behind Angie and grabbing her abs. Every single time we do this, she screams and reacts with the most overdramatic, overblown kind of terror. I and the guys just touch her as a funny joke, as a funny, horny joke. Let me not skip words here. And we always laugh at how unreasonably scared she gets. I want you to, I'm going to repeat this paragraph because this is the key to this guy's behavior. We have a funny habit of sneaking up behind her and grabbing her abs. Every single time we do this, she screams and reacts with the most overdramatic, overblown kind of terror. Terror. I and the guys just touch her as a funny, horny joke. And we always laugh at how unreasonably scared she gets. Okay, so now I'll continue with the rest of the letter. Last weekend, Angie and I were out to explore a natural park near our city. We live in a very hot and humid state. So for the day, Angie chose to wear short shorts and a very low cut spaghetti strap sports bra that left nothing to the imagination. She didn't even bring a spare shirt. So, in other words, she had on what was the equivalent of a boy shorts swimsuit. We had a great time in the park, and I really enjoyed the view of my cute shirtless partner. While we were in a secluded part of the park, there were no other visitors slash tourists around. I pulled my classic prank on her again while we were in a secluded area of the park. Oh, he repeated that. I snuck up quietly behind her and put my hands on her abs. She just started screaming and yelling, "Oh God, oh God. Oh God," and I had to quickly shush her and tell her that she was dangerously close to attracting attention. When we came back to my apartment, I decided to pull my prank on Angie again. Angie was sweating so badly due to how hot it was, so I snuck up behind her while she was facing away from me, and I grabbed her bare abs and wiped her sweat off with my towel. She screamed so loud, and when I released her, she actually fell down to her knees and started crying uncontrollably and hyperventilating. She was clutching her chest and acting as if I were trying to kill her. I got down on the floor with her and just hugged her until she stopped crying. Then I gave her a ride back to her apartment. Angie messaged me the day after this incident, telling me that she wanted to see me. So I went back to her apartment, and the reason she wanted to see me was so that she could yell at me. We got into a huge fight, and she was crying the entire time and told me that I don't give a F about her, and what I've been doing this entire time was terrorizing her. She was still wearing nothing but the same shorts and sports bra from the day before, and she told me that she was too afraid to put on a shirt or take a shower or do anything at all except stand still and stay awake. She didn't even get any sleep because she was terrified that someone was going to break into her apartment and K her. Right before I left, I picked up one of her shirts and threw it at her and told her to put it on. Rather than putting the shirt on, she just screamed and flinched and cried harder. I don't know what the F has gotten into her. Lately, the only thing I did was grab her abs twice, and she just became hysterical. Is this going to be one of those things that haunts us? How do I get over my anger at being accused of terrorizing the love of my life? Angie is a commissioned officer in the Air Force Reserves, and she's also an expert in martial arts. Her recent behavior is so at odds with how tough she normally is, and I now question her mental stability and her fitness for being in the military. Any general advice on how we can get over this as a couple is greatly appreciated. Now, since this young man wrote, I responded to him in writing, and so I don't have to give an off the cuff answer. I can just read you what I wrote back to him, which I'm going to do because I was so disgusted. I don't really trust myself to just freestyle on this answer. I'm going to stick to what I wrote, which was edited for language several times because I just wanted to go smooth off on this dude. And if it was anyone that I knew in person, that's just what I would have done. So this is what I said to this young idiot. Sir, with you know how I say sir and it's sarcastic, so don't be thinking I meant sir in any kind of polite way. Sir, with all due respect, this is the most juvenile, intimidating, boundary crossing, and example of rape culture behavior I've ever seen anyone display towards a woman they allegedly loved. Let's run through the horrible behavior you exhibited towards this girl. First of all, you touched a woman's body repeatedly when you already know she doesn't like it. You know this by her reaction, which never indicates that she finds it amusing or enjoyable. Number two, then you disrespect her by laughing at her upsetness and discomfort and repeating the same juvenile and intimidating behavior all over again. Number three, then you double down by bringing your male friends into the mix, encouraging them to feel all over your girlfriend in a quote, horny way against her wishes as a damn prank. You and your friends are disgusting. Then, to top it off, you laugh at her fear and terror and dislike of you intruding into her personal space and violating her body, and you make it seem like something's wrong with her and that she's unfit for duty. Bottom line, you are a shit awful boyfriend and an even worse human being. You treat this girl like garbage and you encourage your friends to do it too. Move on together. Her best bet would be to dump you and your pack of wolf friends forthwith and right away. I mean, deuce out like Roadrunner. No man gets their jollies from behaving like this with women and girls unless they are number one, a predatory scum, or number two, just plain stupid. Which are you and your friends? Pick one. To me, Angela's reaction is scarily reminiscent of someone with trauma from a prior assault by one or more males. So, whatever you do in the future, don't you ever touch a woman in a way that causes her fear, anger, or pain. At your age, you ought to already know this, but since it seems like you need to be told, in fear, firm, clear language, so there's no doubt in your mind, let me step in and do it. And you tell your nasty buddies not to ever touch a girl again, ever, without her express and enthusiastic verbal consent. I don't mean a head nod. I don't mean her just saying, her not saying no, because some women won't say no, but they'll sit there stiffly like the deer in the headlights thing. They really are saying no, their body's saying no, their mouth's just not cooperating with them. So all that means no. So, that means enthusiastic, encouraging consent. Without it, they are not to even shake her hand. And I want you to tell them this. I think if more parents taught their sons this one basic tenet of malehood, most women would be able to traverse the world in peace. But alas, this is apparently something that men see as their right, and not even at home is a woman safe enough to just relax and not have to be on guard against some kind of attack from a man. Remember, if it's truly funny, everyone involved will be laughing their ass off. If only you think it's funny, you're the only one laughing, and the brunt of your prank or joke is upset, crying, runs away, screams in terror or agony. What you have done is at best bullying, and at worst, a flat out assault under the law and worthy of a case. I need you to think harder about what you do before you do it. Watch my video called And Then What to get an idea how to think things through before you make stupid ass decisions. You need to grow up, all of you. And there you have it. If you like what this video has to say and you think some other young men could benefit from it, please share this link. I'm not really sure what's going on lately socially, but this idea of pranks these men are playing against women, which are basically, as Angie captured, terrorizing women, and it's not funny. Nobody's laughing. The women hate it. The men know the women hate it. And yes, they keep doing it anyway, thinking that it's just, shits and giggles. It's rude, it's crude, it's disgusting, and it's an assault. If you touch a woman and she don't want you to touch her, you touch her in a way she doesn't want you to touch her. Because sometimes she says, you can touch it, but then you start doing something different. than what she gave you permission for. All of those things are assault, and all of those things you should never do. You should not do those things, dudes. Stop it. Grow the hell up and learn how to conduct yourself around women. If you can't do it, then leave women alone. This is Deborah Cooper from survivingdating.com and the Debsterism channel here on YouTube. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button before you get up out of here. I'll see you real soon.